Tag team duo of Jamie and Carly here with you for this post-game edition of Sportsnet Central. You always wonder with these pre-game ceremonies, especially as long as it was for Glen Sather, how the team would react afterwards if they come out slow. But the Oilers going full bore for the majority of the night and knocking off the Rangers 7-5. And against a very good defensive team, for them to score 7 times says something about their effort tonight.
It sure does. And you mentioned starting quickly. Well, the Oilers got on the board just over 6 minutes into this game on the power play, so they certainly didn't waste any time. Let's take you through the game that was the Rangers and the Oilers on essentially Glen Sather night in Edmonton. Edmonton trying to sweep a homestand of 5 or more games for the first time since 1987. And guess who was their coach back then? That guy, Glen Sather. First period of the game, Oilers on the power play. As I mentioned, Eero Pekarinen, the shot stop, but Lauri Korpikoski is not. He whacks at the rebound and beats Henrik Lundqvist. 1-0 E-Town, now tied at 1. Matt Hendricks takes a hit down low, gets the puck out front. Korpikoski, second of the game. 2-1 for the Oil. Just a $1.10 later, Leon Draisaitl across for Taylor Hall, who sets up Teddy Purcell, who snaps it past Henrik Lundqvist. 3-1 for Edmonton after 1. In the opening minute of the second, Lundqvist puts the long pass up ahead to Matt Zuccarello. He finds Chris Kreider. Kreider splits the D and beats Anders Nilsson 5-hole. Rangers, they're down by 1. It's a 3-2 game. Later in the frame, now tied at 3, right off the faceoff. Korpikoski looking for the Hattie, but King Henrik, gets the glove on that one. Still tied after 2. 18 ticks into the third. Purcell with a centering pass. Look at this, Hall. Yes, please. How's that for a backhanded goal? Right past Henrik Lundqvist. That is Hall's 4th straight game with a goal. 4-3 Edmonton. Under 3 minutes later, more from Hall. This time he feeds Darnell Nurse all alone. Nurse beats Lundqvist. That's just his 2nd career goal and his 1st in 20 games. That is it for Lundqvist. 5 goals on 33 shots. 5-3 for the Oil. Now 5-4. Under 2 minutes left. Rangers on the power play. Rick Nash jumps on the rebound. He scores. We are tied at 5. Sather clapping it up. 12 seconds later, more from the Oil.
Opportunity now for Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl. Taylor Hall! And Sather's in! Right back at ya!
Taylor Hall, he is starting this season strong. That is his 14th of the year. Makes it 6-5 for the Oil. Korpikoski would add the empty netter to complete the hat trick, the first of his career. The Oilers win big over the Rangers, 7-5. So that is now 34 points for Taylor Hall in 30 games so far this season. As for Lauri Korpikoski, as I mentioned, collecting the first hat trick of his NHL career. And Anders Nilsson, this is now the 5th straight start that he has won in his first ever game against the Rangers. So the Oilers complete the perfect homestand. It is the 3rd time that they have had a perfect homestand of 5 games or more. The other 2, of course, they were back in the Glen Sather era. How appropriate on this evening.
Incredibly entertaining hockey game, and of course a special night for Oilers fans, and of course one Glen Sather being rewarded for all those years of hard work and all the success the Edmonton Oilers organization had on this night.
Yeah, a very special night, and you know what? You saw him clapping there when the Rangers were able to get back into the hockey game, but I think he probably appreciated seeing what this young team and this younger organization is capable of doing after he left so many years later. To help us break down a big night in Edmonton, here's David Amber and the Hockey Central panel.
All right, alongside Louis DeBrusk and John Shannon, and I think it's fair to say the Rangers and Oilers were maybe paying homage to one Glen Sather on Glen Sather night.
Old-time hockey,
that
baby.
Looked like 1980s Oiler. Back and forth, 12 goals scored, 2 goals in the final 2 minutes, an Oilers victory. And for Glen Sather, what a night, because it started out with this great emotional ceremony.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you consider what he's done in Edmonton, what he built on the ice, the legacy he created for this franchise, it was a well-deserved night. I couldn't have imagined it going any better for Mr. Sather, other than the 7-5 going the other way. It was one of those special nights, Louis.
It really was, and you know, you saw at the end there the little fist pump when the Rangers tied it up 5-5. All the guys said the one thing about Glen Sather, the most competitive guy in the room. He wanted to win this game, no question, but yes, it went down the right way it should have, a high-scoring game.
All right, it was a special night, an emotional night, and a strange night by all accounts. 11 nights ago, after getting shut out in Toronto, the Oilers were dead last in the National Hockey League. No one was talking about playoffs or anything. They were talking about next year. What do? They come home and sweep a 5-game homestand. How do you even explain this, John?
I don't think you can, and I don't think the players can, other than the fact that confidence breeds winning. And that's exactly what happened. They got great goaltending for the first 4 games, and then all of a sudden they started to win, whether it was in the shootout by Jordan Eberle against the Boston Bruins, whether it was a goal late in the game against the Dallas Stars, again Jordan Eberle with the winner, and then 3 consecutive game-winning goals by none other than Taylor Hall, the guy who was supposed to be the star of this team for many, many years. Connor McDavid injured. Hall has come back and done a remarkable job, and that's what 5 games, and you combine that with the great work of Anders Nilsson in goal and some great passing from Leon Draisaitl. This team is full of confidence, it's full of weapons, and it can stop the puck most of the time.
Yeah, it's coming together. You're right. You know what? That was an exciting game, and maybe one of the tougher ones for Nilsson, but I'll tell you, they're getting excited and they're coming together.
All right, and it is Glen Sather night, and a player who played for both the Rangers and the Oilers, actually traded by Glen Sather. Lauri Korpikoski picked a pretty good time for his first career hat trick. He's standing by with Gene Principe. Gene?
Well, it was quite a night for Lauri Korpikoski and the rest of the Edmonton Oilers. I was going to say maybe a slow start because of the ceremony for Glen Sather, but you were the first to score, and it seemed like both teams, especially yours, had a jump to get the night going.
Oh yeah, I think our line the last few games we haven't had a lot of chances, and I think today the puck seems to kind of follow us today, and especially me. You know, I don't think I didn't do anything special. I think I just was in the right spot at the right time, and a lot of those goals, like second one especially, like Hendo and Tess did a great job on the forecheck, and it seems like one of those 80s games almost, with the high score.
Yeah, and you finished it off with a shot from your end of the ice. Any idea where that was going, or what did you have in mind?
My mind is just to clear the puck. You know, it's laying in their prime scoring area, so I just closed my eyes and tried to shoot out of the zone, and luckily, you know, it went in. That's kind of how the night went for me. Everything is kind of just finding a way to go in.
What was it like for this team to have a perfect homestand?
It's huge. You know, we were climbing in the standings, and now we just got to keep it up on the road. You know, we got a big road trip coming up here before Christmas, and we got to keep this thing rolling.
Lauri, thanks for this.
Yeah, thank you.
5-game winning streak for a first time since March 26th to April 3rd of 2013.
All right, thank you, Gene. We're used to the likes of Taylor Hall doing what he does. Another 4-point night for Hall. He's up to 4th in the league now in points. But Lauri Korpikoski, to get that kind of balanced attack, that's what you've been talking about all season.
Well, I picked Anton Lanner's max factor, and I wasn't right on that, but you know what? It was a depth player. And if you want to win consistently in the National Hockey League, you have to have depth scoring. The best players have been the best players, but these are the types of performances they need to have, and they're huge goals. They don't win this game, obviously, without these goals. But this just goes to show you, Todd McLellan right now is playing 4 lines. He wants them to all be activated, and he's starting to get production. For Lauri Korpikoski, his first career hat trick against the team that he used to play for. Glen Sather night, a guy that traded him, he's had history with him. So this is a big night for him, and he can celebrate with the team in 5 consecutive wins.
You know, the other team here tonight wasn't very good most of the night, and if I'm Glen Sather, the manager, the president of the club, with Jeff Gorton, the manager, I'd really be concerned, particularly when it comes to Henrik Lundqvist, who was not very good for most of the night. They're playing back-to-back. They're in Calgary tomorrow night. You have to wonder, they were supposed to play Andy Randa tomorrow night. Do they go with Henrik Lundqvist to get him back in the net and get him some confidence?
Meanwhile, for the Oilers, a 5-game win streak, their longest win streak, guys, since 2013. They now start a 4-game road trip Monday in Boston. Harley, Jamie, back to you.
Thanks very much, David. As they like to say in Edmonton, here come the Oilers. Well, 30 years after helping guide the Oilers to their first of 5 Stanley Cup championships, Edmonton honors Glen Sather, the architect of one of the greatest dynasties ever in the game.
Very fun night for us here at Rexall Place, David.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Sorry I can't be there tonight. Unfortunately, I had the greatest time of my life last night, and I had to go be with my family today. Congratulations to you and Annie. The night is so well deserved. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, the coach, the general manager, and the architect of the Oilers dynasty, Mr. Glen Sather.
Now for the moment we've all been waiting for. I ask that Glen Sather's banner be raised to the top of Rexall Place where it rightfully belongs.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, I was originally going to wing it tonight, but I'm afraid Mark will start to cry in the back, and that'll get me going. So I decided to write a speech. I want to thank you, the hockey fans in Edmonton. You represent this city and this sport with such incredible passion and knowledge, and I will always remember your loyalty and support. And it's difficult to put in my words the gratitude for this honor. But my sincere wish is that every one of you in this building experience something, anything in your life that makes you feel like I do right now, the luckiest person on earth.
So what a legacy Glen Sather has in the City of Champions. He spent 24 years in the Oilers organization, beginning as a player and a coach back in 76-77. As a head coach, general manager, and president, he is the architect of the Oilers dynasty that won 5 Stanley Cups. And in 1979, he helped bring 17-year-old Wayne Gretzky to Edmonton, purchasing the Great Ones contract from the WHA's Indianapolis Racers.